curious if you can kind of follow up on that and what you've seen working with him one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's the first time I've ever been around him where he got tendonitis, and usually that's just from overwork. But the way he's approached this off season, just living in the gym 2-3 days, really being specific about what he needs to improve upon, shooting the ball well from three, shooting the ball well off the dribble from three, playing with greater pace, understanding all of the things that he needs to do for us to be successful both offensively and defensively in the shape he needs to be in. So I would say, just seeing him and having joy with his work, really enjoying what he's doing, his approach. He had his workout yesterday. We had small workout groups, and then some of the freshmen had a workout group after he jumped right in to help them and encourage them and be a part of that too. So just love the space he's in, and it's really driving us this offseason.
What have you seen from
young guards to see that from him?
I think it's very important. You come in as a freshman, you think you have an idea of what college basketball is. You watch games on TV, even watching our games from last year and knowing that he's a good player, but to see him day in and day out and the work he's putting in, and then also the energy he exerts every day in practice, I think it makes them understand, it's a lot more that I need to learn, a lot more I need to do in my approach, and it'll get them to understand quickly what it takes to be successful here at Penn State.
Jamal, Javin Carter was the first guy to commit to this class. What have you seen from him since he's been here? I know he has a big leadership background. How does that kind of translate for a freshman?
Yeah, I think Javin's uniqueness is that which you rarely see, he was a really good player at his high school and he never left. A lot of guys transfer to maybe basketball powerhouses, but it was important for him to leave a legacy where he was, and he wanted to make sure that he left a legacy built on the program and made it better. And I think that's helped him in a way because he's had a lot on his shoulders, night in and night out, every day to lead and but also perform at a high level. So I think when you see him out here, even though everything's new, he doesn't get rattled, he doesn't get sped up like most freshmen. He still plays with a great pace, plays even keel, and I think that'll kind of translate to him having great success, but also helping us a ton early on.
What have you seen from Freddie so far in his time at Penn State, and what do you feel he brings to the table as a transfer coming in?
Freddie was a guy that we really recruited hard at our previous stop. So we watched his game grow and mature. I think style of play and how we play will be a natural fit for him. He loves to play fast, he loves to get up and down, and we've been able to see a lot of that so far. I think for him it's just, understanding the nuances of the game as it pertains to our system and our style of play compared to what he learned for a year and a half at his previous stop. But he's working really hard. He's picking up on those things quickly, and he gives us another dynamic ball handler, a guy that can penetrate the defense and create shots, easier shots for others, but also create shots for himself as well.
Jamal, the jump from high school to college could be tough for big guys because they don't have to face guys that size. How do you see Miles kind of making that transition, and are you viewing him as an impact guy for this season?
I think Miles definitely, I think the benefit for him is playing in that overtime athletic league. There are a lot of guys that ended up transitioning and playing, Power 5 level basketball. So I think he's a little bit more used to the length, the athleticism, the speed of the game than some freshmen are. He is a guy that we look to impact us with his energy, his athleticism, his high motor. But he's also pretty skilled, and he did a great job in the offseason preparing himself for college basketball. He showed up, I want to say right around 215, 220, even grew a few inches, so that was great to see when he got out the car on campus to about 6'11". So really excited about his potential and how he can impact us this season.
You talked about Miles, one of his teammates in high school, Dominic Stewart, is also this freshman coming into school to kind
Oh yeah, their high school coach out there at SoCal Academy did a great job preparing them to understand like what the type of energy you need to bring every day in practice. And so you see it in the weight room, you see it on the floor, the clapping, the encouragement, not only for those two guys, obviously not only encouraging one another, but just bringing that energy to your team day in and day out. And I think that gave them a great foundation, like I said, to be prepared for what the rigors of college basketball are. And you need that energy throughout the grind of the season. You know, we're here week 5 right now of our 8-week period. You know, guys can start to drag a little bit, but those guys bring great energy to pick each other up, and it's much needed.
DeMarco showed some high-scoring potential at times last year. What has he done to get a little more consistent in that department? What does he still do?
I think for DeMarco, it's just the comfort level. You know, for him, he's a lot of what we, again, he was a guy that had played a certain style for, you know, three years or so, and it was important for us to try to get him up to speed as quickly as possible with the nuances of our system and how we do it. And I just think now you see a guy who is just comfortable and confident. He knows what he needs to do. He knows where he needs to be offensively and defensively. So for a guy like him who has so much talent, raw talent, when he's playing without thinking, I think it shows even more. And, you know, knowing where to get his shots, knowing where to create his drives. You've been able to see a lot of that this offseason. And like I said, it's just his level of comfort is vastly different than last year.
Can I do one more?
Last one.
You're now in the third or maybe 2.5 recruiting cycles since you guys got here. How have things changed for the staff in terms of the perception of the program, of how you're being received by recruits and coaches?
I think it's a level of excitement. I think you know, Coach has done a great job setting the tone right from his initial press conference of painting the picture about how we're going to play, bold, different, and aggressive. I think going into our year 1, you didn't have a lot of people who maybe thought that could be successful or could show well within this conference, but I think we had some moments this year where people saw when we do get playing that the way we want to play, the style's fun, it's exciting, and it's allowed us to give recruits that see the vision and want to be a part of something special.
Thanks, Coach.